When hope faded, the distress beacon had been transmitting for 37 days when Station Commander Chen finally accepted the truth. Help wasn't coming. Epsilon Mining Station floated in the void between star systems, a testament to interspecies cooperation that now felt like a cruel joke. Built by the Galactic Council to harvest rare elements from the asteroid belt, it housed 12,000 souls from 20 different species. Humans made up barely 5% of that number, mostly engineers and maintenance crews who kept the aging systems running. Chen stood before the main viewing port, watching the darkness. The Devourers were out there somewhere. Their ships didn't register on standard sensors, appearing only as gravitational anomalies moments before they struck. 3 mining vessels had already vanished, their crews presumably consumed by the silicon-based predators that the galaxy had only recently discovered. "Commander, we've received another response from the Council," Lieutenant Vega reported, her voice carrying the weariness they all felt. Chen didn't turn around. He could predict the contents. "Let me guess. They're still evaluating the strategic importance of our position." "Yes, sir." Ambassador Thrix sends his regrets but states that deploying military assets to a frontier mining operation would leave core worlds vulnerable. The commander's reflection in the viewport showed a man who hadn't slept properly in weeks. His uniform, once crisped with Earth Defense Force insignia, hung loose on his frame. "Vulnerable," he repeated. 12,000 lives don't merit protection because we're not close enough to their precious core worlds. Behind him, the command center hummed with desperate activity. Engineers from various species worked together, trying to enhance their defenses with mining equipment never designed for combat. The Altarians had managed to convert some ore processors into crude energy weapons, while the Zephyrians used their natural ability to sense electromagnetic fields to create an early warning system. "Sir," Communications Officer Milik chittered nervously, his insectoid mandibles clicking. Should I send another request?" Chen finally turned, surveying his mixed species crew. Fear was universal, regardless of how many eyes or limbs you had. "No, Milak. We're done begging." For a moment, silence fell over the command center. Then Chen straightened, something hardening in his expression. "Open all communication channels. Every frequency, every band. I want this message to reach as far as possible." "Sir?" Vega looked confused. "The Council has already." "Not the Council. Everyone. Anyone. Someone out there has to give a damn about 12,000 lives." The crew exchanged glances but obeyed. Within minutes, every transmitter on the station was synchronized, ready to broadcast Chen's words into the cosmic void. Chen activated his personal communicator, his voice steady despite everything. "This is Station Commander James Chen of Epsilon Mining Station. We are under siege by hostile forces identified as the Devourers. The Galactic Council has deemed our station of insufficient strategic value to warrant military intervention. We have 12,000 souls aboard, including families, children of multiple species." He paused, looking at the faces around him. "We've done everything asked of us. We've followed every protocol, filed every report, paid every tax to the Council. And now, when we need them most, we're told we don't matter enough." His voice grew stronger. "So this is not a distress call to governments or councils. This is a cry for help to anyone who still believes that life has value. We have roughly 2 weeks before our defenses fail completely. We will fight to our last breath. But we are miners and merchants, not soldiers. If anyone out there has the power and the will to help, we need you now." He closed his eyes briefly. "To any humans who might hear this, remember what they used to say back home. No one gets left behind. Station Commander Chen, out." The message propagated through space, racing outward at the speed of light. In the command center, a heavy silence settled. They had done all they could. Now they could only wait and prepare for the end. 3 days passed. The Devourers probed their defenses twice, testing reactions, learning patterns. Each encounter left the station's makeshift weapons a little more depleted, their shields a little weaker. Chen was reviewing evacuation procedures, not that they had anywhere to evacuate to, when Milak's excited chittering cut through the command center's gloom. "Commander, Commander Chen, we're receiving a signal." "From the Council?" Chen asked without much hope. "No, sir. It's from Earth. From Terra Command itself." The command center froze. Earth? Not the human colonial administration, not some frontier outpost, but Earth itself. "Put it through," Chen ordered, his heart suddenly racing. The main screen flickered to life, revealing a human woman in full military dress. Her uniform bore the stars of a fleet admiral, and her eyes held something Chen hadn't seen in the Council's bureaucrats. Determination mixed with barely controlled fury. "Station Commander Chen, this is Fleet Admiral Sarah Martins of the Terran Defense Fleet. We received your distress call. Hold your position. We're coming." Chen found his voice. "Admiral, with respect, the Council has forbidden military deployment to this sector. The treaty clearly states." Martinez's expression didn't change. "Commander, did you just tell me there are 12,000 civilians under threat?" "Yes, Mom." "Then the Council can file their complaints with our debris field. The Terran Defense Fleet is mobilizing. Full deployment. Everything that can fly is being prepped for jump. ETA 17 hours. Admiral, the Devourers are unlike anything." "Commander," Martinez interrupted, "I've read your reports. Silicon-based predators that consume organic matter. Ships that barely register on sensors. Well, humanity didn't crawl out of the gravity well of a Deathworld by backing down from predators. We've faced worse and survived. Now we're coming to remind the galaxy why Earth earned that classification." The transmission crackled. "And Commander, that message you sent, it's not just the military coming. 3 civilian fleets have volunteered. Mining ships, cargo haulers, even a few luxury liners. Apparently, humans everywhere took your words about leaving no one behind seriously." Chen felt something he hadn't experienced in weeks. Hope. "Admiral, I don't know how to thank. Don't thank me yet. Thank me when every soul on that station is safe." Martinez out. The screen went dark, but the command center erupted. For the first time in over a month, there were cheers. Even the non-human crew members seemed infected by the sudden change in atmosphere. Vega approached Chen, her eyes bright with tears. "Sir, do you think they can really?" Chen looked at the stars through the viewport. Somewhere out there, Earth was mobilizing. Not because of treaties or strategic value, but because 12,000 lives had called for help. "Lieutenant," he said quietly, "humans evolved on a world that tried to kill them every single day. They survived ice ages, predators, plagues, and each other. If anyone can face the Devourers and win, it's the Deathworlders." He turned to address the entire command center. "All stations, prepare for allies incoming, and start working on ways to support their fleet when they arrive. We might not be soldiers, but we're about to learn what it means to stand with humanity in a fight." As his crew rushed to their tasks with renewed purpose, Chen allowed himself a small smile. The Council had deemed them expendable. Earth had decided otherwise. In 17 hours, the Devourers would learn why humans were called Deathworlders, and the galaxy would witness what happened when humanity decided that someone needed saving. The waiting began, but this time, it was waiting with hope. And in the black between stars, Earth's children raced through the void, carrying with them the simple truth that had driven their species since the beginning. No one gets left behind. What Earth answers with 17 hours, that's all the time the universe gave Epsilon Station before everything changed. Commander Chen stood in the observation dome, watching the star field with an intensity that made his eyes burn. Around him, the station buzzed with preparation. The crew had spent every moment since Admiral Martinez's message retrofitting their systems, converting mining equipment into support tools for the incoming fleet. "Commander," Vega called out, her voice tight with anticipation. "Long-range sensors are picking up gravitational distortions. Multiple contacts, bearing 270. Chen's jaw clenched. The Devourers. Negative, sir. The signatures are different, much larger, and they're using controlled FTL jumps. The commander felt his pulse quicken. How many contacts? Vega's mandibles clicked rapidly as she processed the data. I'm counting. Sir, I'm counting over 400 discrete jump signatures. The observation dome's blast shields automatically activated as space itself began to tear. One by one, ships emerged from hyperspace, their arrival sending ripples through the fabric of reality. But these weren't the elegant, streamlined vessels of the Galactic Council. These were human ships. Brutal, angular things built for function over form. The UTS Prometheus emerged first, a battleship that dwarfed anything Chen had ever seen. Its hull was scared from countless encounters, painted in the gray and blue of Earth's united fleet. Weapon systems bristled from every surface, and its very presence seemed to challenge the void itself. Behind it came the rest of Earth's answer to a cry for help. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers, an entire battle fleet emerging from hyperspace with practiced precision. But what caught Chen's breath were the ships that followed the military vessels. Civilian ships of every description, hastily armored and armed. Mining vessels with improvised weapon mounts. Cargo haulers whose holds had been converted into fighter bays. Even passenger liners, their luxury suites now housing medical facilities and evacuation equipment. My God, Vega whispered. They actually came. All of them. The communications array came alive. Epsilon Station. This is Admiral Martinez aboard the Prometheus. We're taking defensive positions around your facility. I'm transmitting our tactical integration protocols now. We'll need your mining sensors for early warning. They're actually better at detecting mass than our military-grade equipment. Chen activated his communicator, his voice hoarse with emotion. Admiral, the Devourer's main force is massing in the asteroid field, Section Gamma 7. We've identified at least 60 vessels, possibly more. Copy that, Commander. We're detecting them now. Martinez's voice carried a tone that made Chen's spine straighten. All human vessels, this is Prometheus Actual. Weapons free. I repeat, weapons are free. Let's show these silicon nightmares what happens when they threaten civilians under human protection. The human fleet spread out with startling efficiency. Military vessels took point positions while the civilian ships formed a secondary line, creating multiple defensive layers around the station. Fighter craft launched from every available bay, swarming out like angry hornets. Then the Devourers came. They emerged from the asteroid field like living shadows, their biometallic hulls absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Their ships moved with an unsettling organic fluidity, more like deep-sea predators than spacecraft. Admiral Martinez's voice cut through the tension. All ships, remember your xenobiology briefings. These things eat through hull plating like acid. Don't let them get close. Long-range engagement only. The human fleet opened fire as one. Chen had seen space combat before, but nothing like this, where the Council's ships fought with elegant precision, exchanging energy beams in choreographed patterns. Humanity fought like the Deathworlders they were. Kinetic rounds, missiles, even improvised weapons hurled chunks of asteroid at incredible velocities. The first wave of Devourers reeled under the onslaught. But the Devourers were far from helpless. They adapted quickly, their ships splitting and reforming, creating smaller, faster attack forms. Several broke through the initial barrage, racing toward the human lines. That's when Chen saw why humans had survived their Deathworld. A mining ship, the Rockhound IV, found itself directly in the path of 3 Devourer vessels. Instead of retreating, its captain engaged full thrust, aiming straight for the lead enemy. At the last moment, the ship jettisoned its entire load of mining explosives, turning itself into a massive fragmentation bomb. The explosion tore through the Devourer formation, buying precious seconds for military vessels to reposition. Rockhound, this is Prometheus. Outstanding work. Evacuation shuttles en route to your position. More Devourers emerged from the asteroid field, drawn by the intensity of the battle. The human fleet adjusted, demonstrating a flexibility that the Council forces had never achieved. Military and civilian ships worked in perfect coordination, covering each other's weaknesses. Chen watched as a luxury liner, the Star of Terra, used its powerful navigation deflectors to create a shield wall, protecting damaged fighters as they retreated for repairs. A cargo hauler deployed mining drones, reprogrammed on the fly to kamikaze into Devourer ships. "Commander," Milak called out, his compound eyes wide. "I'm detecting massive energy buildup in the Devourer command ship. It's preparing some kind of focused consumption beam." Chen saw it too. The largest Devourer vessel was drawing energy from its smaller companions, preparing to fire what their limited intelligence suggested was a weapon designed to consume organic matter at a molecular level. "Admiral Martinez, are you seeing this?" "Affirmative. All ships, danger close. The big one's charging up. We need tow." A new voice cut across the channel. Young, determined, and absolutely fearless. "This is Captain Elena Ruiz of the mining vessel Deep Core 7. We've got this." Chen watched in horror and awe as the Deep Core 7, a ship designed to crack asteroids, accelerated toward the Devourer command ship. Its mining laser, powerful enough to slice through solid rock, began charging. "Deep Core 7, belay that action," Martinez ordered. "You're not equipped for." "With respect, Admiral, we mine rocks that don't want to be mined in conditions that want to kill us. This is Tuesday for us." The Deep Core 7 fired its mining laser at full power, not at the Devourer ship, but at the massive asteroid beside it. The asteroid cracked, then shattered, sending continent-sized chunks of rock directly into the Devourer's charging weapon. The explosion was visible from 3 systems away. When the light faded, the Devourer command ship was gone, consumed by its own destabilized weapon. The remaining Devourer vessels seemed to pause, their hive-mind coordination shattered. "All ships, press the attack," Martinez commanded. "Don't give them time to regroup." What followed was less a battle and more a force of nature. The human fleet fell upon the confused Devourers like a tsunami, overwhelming them with sheer ferocity and adaptability. Ships worked in perfect synchronization, military precision combined with civilian ingenuity. Within an hour, the last Devourer vessel was reduced to inert debris. A cheer erupted across all channels. Shen found himself slumping against the observation dome's railing, the tension of weeks finally releasing. "Epsilon Station. This is Admiral Martinez. The immediate threat has been neutralized. We're beginning rescue and evacuation operations. Medical ships are standing by for any casualties." As the human fleet moved into support positions around the station, Chen noticed something else approaching. Galactic Council vessels, arriving far too late to help, but just in time to witness the aftermath. The lead Council ship transmitted a priority message. "Human fleet, this is Counselor Vrex. Your unsanctioned military action in this sector is a direct violation of Treaty Article 7. You will withdraw immediately and submit tow." Admiral Martinez's response cut through the bureaucratic bluster. "Counselor Vrex, this is Admiral Martinez. We're currently engaged in humanitarian operations protecting 12,000 civilians your council abandoned. If you'd like to file a formal complaint, I suggest you do it in person. But be warned, my crew is a little testy about governments that declare civilians expendable." The Council ships maintained their distance, watching as human vessels continued their work. Damaged sections of Epsilon Station were repaired. Wounded were evacuated to medical ships. The civilian vessels that had sustained damage were taken in tow. Commander Chen found himself on a shuttle to the Prometheus, summoned by Admiral Martinez for debriefing. As he stepped onto the battleship's bridge, he was struck by its utilitarian design. No wasted space, no aesthetic considerations, everything built for survival and combat. Admiral Martinez turned from her command station, and Chen finally saw the woman who had answered their desperate call. Her face bore the marks of someone who had seen too much but refused to stop fighting. "Commander Chen," she said, extending her hand. "It's an honor to meet you." Chen shook her hand, feeling the strength in her grip. "Admiral, what your people did today is what humans do. Martine, it's finished. We received your message. 12,000 lives were in danger. The math was simple. But the Council, Martine said, her voice hardening, needs to understand something. Humanity joined the galactic community in good faith. We followed their rules, limited our military, played nice. But we will never, ever accept the idea that some lives matter less than others based on strategic value." She gestured to the view screen showing the mixed fleet working together. Every one of those civilian ships volunteered. No orders, no coercion. They heard your call and came because that's who we are. The Deathworld didn't make us cruel, Commander. It made us understand that survival sometimes means standing together, no matter the cost. Over the next days, the galaxy watched as humanity transformed Epsilon Station into a fortress. The mining facility was upgraded with proper defenses, early warning systems, and a permanent human naval presence. The message was clear: never again would this outpost stand alone. The Galactic Council eventually sent a formal protest, citing 17 different treaty violations. Earth's response was equally formal: a complete withdrawal from the military limitation treaties, effective immediately. If the Council wouldn't protect civilians, humanity would. Commander Chen remained at Epsilon Station, now serving as liaison between the human fleet and the station's mixed population. He watched as human engineers worked alongside Altarian technicians, as Earth doctors treated Zephyrian patients, as the arbitrary lines between valuable and expendable dissolved in the face of shared purpose. 6 months later, when another frontier colony sent out a distress call, they didn't contact the Galactic Council first. They called Earth, and Earth answered. They always would, because that's what Deathworlders do. They survive, they protect, they stand together. And they never, ever leave anyone behind. The galaxy had learned something important that day at Epsilon Station. The humans weren't the monsters they feared from a Deathworld. They were something far more dangerous to the established order. They were the ones who would come when called, fight when needed, and stand when others fled. They were the answer to every cry for help echoing in the void. And they were just getting started.